makes me feel superior.
That's right. That's right.
All right. Hello, everyone. This is Orionna Coleman, aka Stori By Ori, and I am here with my good friend Jim McKennon. How are you today?
All right. I'm great.
I love that response. And do y'all see the energy that Mr. McKennon gives? He's like, I'm great. And that's going to happen throughout the whole interview today. I want to let you all know that Mr. McKennon is a part of who I consider to not be a wimpy Christian. For those of you who are just tuning into the series, God gave me the idea to do a series called Don't Be a Wimpy Christian. And basically it's to encourage people to do whatever God has called them to do without doubting him at all. If God told you to do it, that means will get you through it. And Mr. McKennon, every time I meet with him, he is one of the most inspirational, motivational people I've ever met. And I'm just inspired by you.
Well, thank you.
Really,
Thank
really.
you.
So I want people to get, especially for people who don't know you, who is Jim McKennon? Tell us about yourself.
Well, I'm a 73-year-old grandfather. Just became a great-grandfather the other day.
Awesome.
Actually, about a month ago.
Wow, congratulations.
And thank you. And graduated of the University of Southern Mississippi. And I couldn't get that many jobs when I finished college because I graduated magna cum barely. And that's not a lie. That's the absolute truth. Not a lot of people wanted to hire me. So the only job I could get was selling life insurance, which everybody said they'll never sell life insurance. The worst job in the world. But that's the only people that hire me. And I got into it. I absolutely loved it. Got into management. Got my stockbroker's license and went in the insurance business '69, stockbroker's license in '71. And I've been doing it ever since, and that's all I know how to do.
Wow. And you're pretty good at it.
Well, I hope so after 51 years.
Yes, yes.
Well, I hope so.
I know you're good at it because now you have your own segment of a business, McKennon Money Management, right?
Yeah.
When did you start your own type of segment for that?
We started money management probably 30, 40 years ago. Just I got tired of working for companies. When you work for a big company, you have to do what the big company tells you.
Yeah.
And I called a big company one time and I said, hey, look, I found this great product. It's absolutely perfect for this client, and I'd like to sell it. And they said, no, you can't do that. Well, why? Because we don't allow you to do that. But it's the right thing for the client. Well, I'm sorry, you can't do it.
So they gave you limitations.
They gave me limitations, which I don't like limitations. I want to do the right thing for the client. Let me tell you one of the best, one of the most funds I've had.
You stay busy, so.
And one of the most funds that I've had is for about, I guess 18 years, I taught Larry Burkett's class on Christian financial planning. And I'm sorry, I got to cut this stupid thing off.
Just press the end button.
Sorry about that. I'm busy. Okay. So I taught Larry Burkett's class on Christian financial planning, and what I used to tell people is I worked with the high and mighty during the day and the lowly trod at night. And we would help people that were in debt. And if you don't know who Larry Burkett is, he was the first person that really got involved in Christian financial planning. I went to churches all over the country doing that. Now Dave Ramsey does something similar to what Larry did. In fact, I think Dave and Larry may have worked with Larry. Larry, I don't remember. But anyway, it's similar. It's the same thing about getting out of debt, and we work with people and counsel them on getting out of debt. Now, these people were not prospects to do any investing. Of course, they were more worried about saving their house or saving their car. Or whatever. But I really enjoyed that. Did it for about 20 years. Got to know Larry real well. Now, I did not get paid. I don't want anybody to
You did
to think
all
it was
that for free?
Oh, yeah. And I'd go to churches all over the country and do weekend seminars.
Wow. Was it just in your heart to just learn? To not be getting paid for that? You just knew God was going to provide either way? Sure.
And God has blessed us very early on. And I don't know why. I don't complain. But he has blessed us financially a long time ago. Far, far more than my abilities.
Okay.
And we've been faithful in our giving and will continue to be. In fact, you know the old 90-10 deal where you're supposed to live on 90 and give God 10. You know, I met a man a long time ago that did the reverse. He did giving God 90 and living on 10. That's our objective. Now we're not there yet.
Yeah.
But that's where I'd like to be, where we can do that, because it's what you send ahead. It's not what you accumulate here. What you accumulate here goes to dust. What you send ahead, that makes a difference. And that's what we try to do. And I think in helping people get their finances in order. Now, not necessarily the kind of people I work with Burkett, but I mean people, the ordinary person that's maybe got money in a 401k, money in an IRA, money invested in the market, which they're fixing to lose. and helping people get ready for that, I consider that part of a ministry.
It is.
Yeah.
Like, it's a verse in the Bible. I can't recall the exact chapter or book, but it says that whatever talent you have, to use it. If you have a talent to speak, then speak. If you have a talent to teach, then teach. So your talent is teaching people about their finances, and you've done well, and God has rewarded you for it.
Well, He's rewarded me, and I'm very gracious. I give Him the credit.
And that it's amazing that you're saying this since the beginning, because you've told me a little bit of this story off camera, but I did not know you was doing all that for free. Like, and we've had conversations. So, like I said, the Don't Be a Wimpy Christian is about people who don't need to do it. They need to trust God. And if that ain't the best, one of the best examples I've heard of someone not being a wimpy Christian, you literally added extra hours to your day to go work with somebody else for free, and you didn't doubt God one time.
That's building up treasures in heaven.
Yes.
Let me tell you what. When Jesus comes back, there's going to be two judgments. The first judgment is the great white throne. That's for non-Christians. The second judgment is called a beaver. But that's where you're before God, and He's judging you on your good deeds, and you're going to be rewarded based on your good deeds versus bad deeds. You're not going to get in heaven that way, but you're going to be rewarded once you've already made the decision that you trusted Jesus Christ as your Savior. And that's what I'm working on. Yeah. And I'm not trying to be facetious. I'm not trying to be a goody-goody, because I fall short every day. Yeah, every day, we all do. I fall short. But that's our objective. And I feel like the more people we can help without looking for personal gain, then the better off we are. And that's what I'm trying to do. That's
amazing. So you did that for how many years with Mr. Burkett?
With Burkett, probably somewhere between 15 and 20. I can't remember exactly.
Okay, and then you went on to your own lane of starting.
Well, I was still doing my regular job.
Okay.
Because I worked my job in the morning. I had to pay the bills.
Exactly.
Had to pay the bills. And then at night, I worked with these people. We had a church. The church I was going to allowed us to meet there.
Okay.
And so I'd meet with the people at night and help them that were having, financial difficulty.
Okay. Well, let's backtrack. When you first started as a business owner, I know that after college, so you said you graduated magna cum what?
Barely.
Magna cum barely.
That means I was not a good student. Just put it bluntly.
Well, they call it now, thank you, Lordy. So
that's right.
You got magna cum.
That's absolutely correct.
So I get it. We called it now. I was at a graduation, and they said it last time we went. They was like, you got the top one, the next to top one, then you got the thank you, Lordy. He was like, all of them are just as important.
That's
and
what
honestly, nobody's looking at GPAs when you're looking for a job. So you did what you had to do, and you got that degree. That's all that matters. They don't say your grade point average on that degree. So I'm so thankful that it doesn't. But what I was leading to with that being said is, when you were doing your business, when you first started off knowing that you had the limits working for other people, what are some of the lessons that you learned early on that keeps you as prosperous as you are in your business today?
Well, when I was working with people with the Burkett program, I mean, people would come to me that were in danger of losing their house or in danger of losing their car. And what I learned is, when I even got to the point where with some of them, I would take over their checking account, and I'd say, look, let's do a budget. Number one, you did the budget. Okay, you're about, I'm making up a number, you're $300 short in being able to pay your bills every month. Tell you what I'll do. You let me write all your checks. You don't have a checkbook anymore. I will pay all your bills, and I will make sure that they all get paid. Now, would you want to take a guess how many people took me up on that?
Probably not many. They
not many.
They didn't want to give over their check.
Not many. They didn't want to give over that absolute. Even though I was willing to make up any personal difference they had, they weren't willing to do it.
Yep.
And you know what that told me?
That they wasn't managing their finances.
They were not really interested in getting ahead. They were, they weren't serious.
They're living for today instead of the future.
I'm giving you free time, but if you don't do what I asked you to do, then I just say thank you very much and goodbye.
But see, during your day job with McKennon Money Management, you dealt with people who were kind of good with their finances, because you deal with stuff beyond it. We have had the absolute pleasure of working with some of the wealthiest people in the country, including a former United States president. And you say, how can a dumb old country boy from Yazoo City, Mississippi, that graduated from Southern Miss, magna cum barely, work with those kind of people? It's a God thing. It's nothing to do with me. I could tell you more stories about people that worth hundreds of millions of dollars that we've worked with over the years. And some people think, well,
you don't want to work with anybody that's worth less than that. Well, that's absolutely false. We work with people that have thousands of dollars or millions of dollars. We've worked with both.
Yes, and you told me, because a lot of people watching this show, they are small business owners, they are millennials like myself. We've talked off camera with just the amount of money you could start off with to save up for our retirement. Because even me, like a small business owner, what advice would you give me on record that I could be doing right now to secure my retirement?
Do the opposite of what everybody else is doing. You know why?
Yes.
When I started in this business 51 years ago, there was a statistic put out by the U.S. government. You'd like to guess what percentage of people, we all start out the same, 21, 25, whatever. And we all hope to retire rich, right?
We do.
What do you think?
I do.
What do you think the percentage was 50 years ago?
I want to say, you would think it was bigger because the cost of living wasn't as high. So I would say like 20% maybe.
All right, how about 5%?
Wow.
Now, what do you think those numbers are 50 years later?
Probably worse.
5%. Same 5%. So people haven't changed. Why? Because they still do the same thing. Well, my granddaddy did it. My daddy did it. My whoever did it. So you got to change your mindset. I retired at age 46. Did I retire at age 46 by doing what everybody else does? Absolutely not. I did the opposite of what everybody else is doing.
Yeah.
So you say rebel? Am I a rebel? Yeah, I guess you might say that. Not an old Miss Rebel, but I'm a rebel.
Yeah.
You certainly might say that. But that's what you have to do in order to be successful. The worst mistake I find people making is they're accumulating money where they deduct the money going into the plan, like a 401k, an IRA, and that's a little amount. And they pay taxes on the big amount coming out. Makes no sense. You stop and think about it.
Because you're paying more money on the big amount.
Not only that, but you know what the tax brackets are today, some of the lowest in history. You know what they're going to be in your case, 50, 60 a year? Of course not. Of course not. But President Trump's top CPA in the Trump administration has said, and I'll quote him, taxes have to double or we have to reduce spending by 60%, which we cannot do. We cannot do that. President Trump's only on top, head of his CPA, top CPA said that. Now, folks, I'm telling you, that's a serious story. So we encourage people, there's a couple of ways that you can save money where you don't deduct it going in, but you don't pay taxes coming out. That's what we encourage people. That's what we've got a national reputation on. We've been doing it I've been doing this for maybe 30, 35 years. This part of it.
And this is something you do yourself, so you know it works.
Well, I absolutely know. How did I retire at 46?
You have to be...
How did I retire at 46?
Exactly.
Oh, my good looks? I know. Maybe my good look? Who knows, you know.
Mr. McKennon
Not my
always
smarts,
saying
that's
he's
for
a daredevil. Well, that's what I'm saying, though. Like, a lot of people don't practice what they preach.
Right.
So you definitely, for you to have retired at 46, that's a huge accomplishment, by the way. But you literally have to practice what you preach to be so successful and things of that nature. So I'm honored to even be getting this free information that anybody else would probably have to pay to sit down and pick your brain. Like, I was talking to a classmate literally maybe yesterday, and he's been learning a lot about financial literacy. He's learning how to fix credit reports and things of that nature, and he started a financial solutions business where he helped fix people's credit. And he had vented on Facebook a few days ago about when he posts free information, how he receives so much backlash, negative backlash. People thinking that he thinks he's better than anybody or things like that. And I commented on his post and I told him that I valued his content, and I told him that some people just aren't like-minded. They're not rebels, as you would say, to think about it in a more futuristic way, you know. And I told him, I said, with the knowledge that you're gaining, some people will pay for that, you know, the right people. So you might want to start saving all the stuff you're putting out there for free. Start a class. Let people pay for it to listen to you and to learn from you. And he responded, a guy, he was like a mechanic, was fixing on a car. He said he took him 10 minutes to fix on the gentleman's car. And he said he charged him $200 though. So the gentleman asked him, why would you charge me $200 when it only took you 10 minutes to fix it? He said, for me to do it in 10 minutes, that took 10 years of knowledge. You know what I'm saying? So moments like this, as someone that's only 25, I cherish, because you're giving me knowledge that took you years to get. And now you're allowing me to spread it to other people to say, hey, you got a choice. Either you're going to do what everybody else has done and you see the debt that they're in, the generational curses, or you're going to take charge of your financial life, which is taking charge of your life in general. You just make the decision in your financial life, and you're going to choose to do better. So I'm choosing, I don't know about y'all, but I want to choose to do better so I can retire maybe at, what, 46?
Man, make one point. Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe. Tell me what's about to happen, Mr. McKennon.
Well, I think we've got the perfect economic storm, just like the perfect storm. And the perfect economic storm is, I think the market's going to crash. It's got to crash. Nobody doubts that. They just don't know when. What goes up comes down. What goes down goes back up. So that we're fixing to have a bad crash, I believe. I know. I don't believe. I know. I just don't know when. Secondly, taxes are fixing to go through the roof. Not just income taxes, but all taxes that you pay. Income taxes may be the last thing to go because that's the thing most people look at. No politician wants to raise your income taxes.
Yeah.
They can throw some other ones in there that maybe you don't see. But all taxes are fixing to go through the roof. So we have the perfect economic storm that's fixing to happen. Now, we can help people get ready for that. And a lot of times we do that, and there's absolutely no charge. Remember, I'm building up treasures in heaven.
Yeah.
Now, if you've got some things that you need some help with, and you have the ability to pay, we're going to charge. We're going to make money. Absolutely true. Absolutely true. But there are very, very few people that we can't help. Even if you've just got a 401k, you need to know how to invest that to get ready for the coming economic storm. You know, we'll be glad to help you on that. So all you got to do is call us or come by to see us.
Real quick, and it just came to me to ask this. As a small business owner, how do I, especially since I'm working for myself, how do I start putting money in my 401k?
I wouldn't put it in the 401k.
You wouldn't?
Because remember, the 401k is the little amounts deductible. The large amounts not deductible. Why not use a Roth IRA? It works just the opposite. It's Robin Hood in reverse. In the Roth IRA, the money that you put in there is non-deductible, the little amount, but the money that you take out is non-taxable.
Okay.
So a Roth IRA makes a whole lot more sense to me.
Okay. So that's what I need to work on, getting more information about that so I can start putting the money that I am making, putting a percentage of that into a Roth IRA, because I do want to be okay when I'm in my 50s and 60s. I love talking on camera, but I don't want to do it forever.
Well, hey, you're young enough. We'll get you retiring. You can beat me instead of 46. Let's get you retiring at 43. How about that? 43.
Wow, I look forward to it. And even if I do decide to still do this, at least I know my retirement is good.
That's right.
So that's the goal, y'all.
Right.
I want to help you all, not just with your mental of thinking the right things or saying the right things and doing. I want to help you today on the third one I just said, doing the right things, making the right decisions when it comes to everything. And particularly this episode is for your finances. So if you found anything that Mr. McKennon shared insightful, intriguing, let us know. I'm going to have all his information in the status of this video that you can go to his email, or you can give him a call to set up a consultation so you can get your finances on the right track. I also include information about the guy that I mentioned as well to let you all know what he's doing on the credit side, because you're not necessarily doing it. You're doing more of the, the finances. So I'll include his just as an add-on because I respect what he's doing as well. Thank y'all so much. Is there anything I was about to say?
Yeah.
What else would you
I
like
want to tell them about my Lacoste up here.
Let's talk about this.
I want you to see this, folks. Paul Lacoste, he was an All-American linebacker at Mississippi State, went and played in the pros. He developed a program, it's a boot camp. It's the toughest thing I've ever been through in my life. Now, he did this for the Mississippi legislators. And together, they lost over 3,000 pounds. That's 3,000 together, all together.
Woo.
And Paul came down and did it in Brookhaven. And there was 100 of us in the 6 a.m. class and 100 in the 5 a.m. class. And he had us doing the same exercises that pro football. That's no kidding. I'm 73. And I was doing the same exercises that are, the most phenomenal athletes in the world do. And I didn't get any slack. It was, hey, hold that thing, hold this. Give me another push-up. Y'all doing 100, give me 101. It was the most grueling thing I've ever been through, and many times I thought, I can't do this. I'm 73 years old. If I was 23, I'm not so sure I could do it. But guess what?
Me.
Guess what? I did it.
You did.
I did it, and I even got an award. One of those is an award that I got that was named after his son, which I was very pleased. Not because I was the best one in the class. I wasn't, but because I did some other things that he appreciated. So he gave me an award named after his son. But if you ever had a chance to go into the Paul Lacoste program, it is absolutely phenomenal.
Wow.
Tough,
That's just
but phenomenal.
another add-on for you all to get physically fit. And tell me about the other one that we got set up right here.
Well, the other one was named after his son. It's an award for his son.
Make sure I'm pumped.
And
So
he
this
gave
is the
that.
Paul
He gave that not
what
to
his
the
son-
best athlete in the class, which I was probably the worst, but he gave it to the one that did some things. Like his son was always promoting things,
Mm-hmm.
and I was promoting things. I had my group. He put us in groups. I had my group over to my house, and we fed them, and we had some interplay, and. I was kind of the class clown. I rode my motorcycle out there one day and wore some wild outfits. So he gave me credit for doing some things that his son would do. You know, being a little promotive, being a little, maybe going against the grain a little bit.
Yeah, going above and beyond.
Yeah, going above and beyond.
And
whatever.
that reminds me, and I know you're humble, so you're not going to mention it, but I will. In the years of Mr. McKennon being in the financial business with McKennon Money Management, he has his clients. People have reached out to his clients to survey him. He don't know. They've been anonymous. But based on those ratings of them seeing how his service was from the moment they started to the end, he has got 100% satisfactory rating. That is something to clap about. I am so proud of you.
And I'm proud of it.
I am so proud of you. So that's something we definitely have to let people know, because you're talking about a program that was years ago that you're still proud to be a part of. That's the same thing that those people that gave you those perfect ratings, they're proud of you because you changed their lives. They wouldn't have never gave you those ratings if you didn't do something that's impactful to them, for them to this day. So congratulations on that.
I'm very
But you remain humble, and that's another thing of being a Christian. Like, God will bless you. He will give you what you need. You just have to trust him enough to go where he's telling you to go. And I'm so glad that you're listening to God and you're responding. And even if the road gets hard, because that's something else that he has. He has some motivational things in his office where, what we got, FAIL? Is it FAIL with the acronym?
Yeah.
First attempt at learning.
Right.
Oh my God, I'm trying to quiz myself.
I can't remember them all.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I had to read them. I can't remember.
Yeah. But it's very inspirational. Like, they broke down what the different things is. Like, know is next opportunity. And I actually did a show about that.
Did you?
My first show of Stori Studios on this platform was entitled Accepting God's No. And in the show I said, it's no means next opportunity. I didn't know that this was something that people like yourself was reading to inspire you on a bad or good day. But it was just in my spirit to tell people that. So when I seen it in your office, I was like, look at me. No one's even teaching me stuff. That's nothing but God to show me. I'm going to speak to you even if you don't have the literature to read it yourself. So you all continue to go, push forward in what you have going on. Make the right decisions, especially when it comes to your health, your finances in particular with this episode. And contact Mr. McKennon if you need more information. I've enjoyed y'all. Mr. McKennon, I've enjoyed you.
Thank you.
And y'all catch us on the next episode of Stori Studios. Bye-bye.